We are going to talk to Megan in New Zealand. Oh, I wonder what time it is there. It's
Hi,
either early or late.
how are you?
Hello, Megan. Thank you for calling the
Yeah, it's
line. What
like
would you like to talk about?
it's the afternoon here for me.
Ah, cool.
And
Firstly,
most
I
importantly, it's
am
still
so stoked
2024
to
there.
talk to you
So
guys. I am really stoked to talk to you guys because honestly, I've been yelling at my screen for months now.
Oh, okay.
um,
Uh-oh.
yeah, well, because
Hopefully not at
I'm
us.
an atheist and I think it's a bit tough living in some places, and I'm a bit lucky.
Okay.
Living in a fairly liberal country, but I do have a problem. Uh, I met this person and she was sick, and her mother, and I have become her sort of surrogate parent, and
Okay.
so she sort of stays here, etc. And we had problems sort of early on when she was 6 or 7 because she sort of was afraid I was going to hell and she would cry and all that sort of stuff. But in general, we haven't talked about anything. But on her 16th birthday, I gave her, I'm part Maori, but I'm blonde, blue eyed, you'd never tell. And I gave her something from my culture, which is a greenstone heart. And this is when it all fell down. Her brother rang me up, and he's got a few mental health problems, but he has quite a few sort of religious ideations lately, and he's gone a bit sort of far. And he sort of rang me up and told me that I was the reason she was going nuts as a teen. She's not. She's just a normal teenager. I'm the reason why he can't control her anymore, and that I'm a bad influence. And if I don't believe in God, then I have no, I have no morals, and he doesn't want me around her anymore. And my problem is not so much with him, but his mother that sat back and listened and allowed him to call me the S word, C word, every other word you can think of, very racist. And she sat back and listened. And in the end, I said it was up to her mother and her father whether she was allowed this greenstone necklace. And her mother got on the phone and said, best not. I don't think we should do that because there might be some sort of curse on it,
Oh, for
and it
God's
might
sakes.
curse our
That's
house.
so racist. God, that's racist.
Yeah, and
Sorry.
so I said, thank you very much, and I hung up. I think they've allowed me to be in her life so long because I've helped them. You know, I've got a bit of money, I've got a bit of time, I don't have any children, so I've been able to do a lot for them, and also because I don't look Maori at all, I'm acceptable. But it's all gone down the drain. But a few days ago, I haven't spoken to his mother in months because I want nothing to do with her. But she sent a message, a voice message, and she was very shaky. And she was saying, "Please, can we talk? Can we sit down? Can I go with you somewhere and have a coffee?" And I am at an impasse because the daughter is pretty much old enough to sort of make her own decisions, but I am going to be around her a lot, birthdays, Christmas, New Year's, you know, 21st marriage, that sort of thing. So I'm a bit stuck. Her father, by the way, is a lovely guy. They're split up. So I'm sort of shaking it. I'm a bit nervous.
It's okay. You're all right.
Yeah, so I don't know
You're
what
doing
to do. Do I accept it back in? I mean, do I say
good.
no? You're not safe for me. I don't feel safe. I don't know what to do.
Has she apologized or indicated a change in her
Um,
position?
well, it's funny because prom. I brought her daughter a prom dress, and she got ready with me, and her mother came around to see her before she went to the prom. And she tried to talk to me whilst her daughter could hear me. So I sort of cut it down quite a bit. But I got the gist of it that she was trying to explain why. And she said that she has friends that say that there's the curses on these greenstone things and that
So
they shouldn't be allowed in the house. Basically, it's a heart.
that's not an apology.
I'm not that connected to, I mean, I love my culture and, but it's a few generations back. I'm probably about 15%. It's just it's but the response to it, it confused me. I'd never heard that before. All it meant was love. So she's standing on the fact that the actual it could curse her house. But then she's trying to apologize to me at the same time, and I don't think
That
she
wasn't a "I'm
gets.
sorry I offended you
Yeah,
with
yeah,
with
yeah,
with these
but
things I perceive as facts. I'm
yes,
sorry you were upset
100%.
that I perceive this as a
Yes,
fact. That's not, I'm
yes,
sorry I understand this is incorrect and offensive." When there's a
yes.
very distinct difference between the 2, I
Mhm.
wouldn't consider that an apology or a change in
No, no,
position.
no, but is she going to? That's my point. But I can't say, "No, you're," because she says, "Oh, I've got Maori friends that say this." And I mean, I could never imagine any Māori friends saying that. But I grew up so atheist, it's not funny. I mean, my whole life around me has always been atheist. So it was
Mm.
strange to let theist in the first place. You know, I had to be very careful. I was always careful of what I said to her daughter. I drove her to Sunday school. You know, her daughter has a Bible in my spare room. You know, I just don't know what to do.
What you're gonna do ultimately is gonna be up to you. I could tell you that they're boundary crashers. It sounds like her mother is for sure. I'm not sure about her. That's a potentially difficult situation for her. I don't know how young she is. She's going to prom. She's probably still a teenager, I would assume.
Yeah,
Pardon me. So I'm not sure how that impacts your relationship with her, but it would seem like you'd need to set some pretty strong boundaries with her mother, or at
yeah,
least I would want to,
hmm,
before I was willing to have her around me,
yeah.
which maybe she'd be willing to allow you to continue the relationship with the daughter. I'm not sure what that looks like, but there would be some
It's not
boundaries
up to
being
her.
set.
It's not up to her. Her dad and I get on very well, and she's 16, so she really can. And her
Okay.
mother, to her credit, has never. I mean, probably because it favors her because I do a lot for her daughter. But what is making me sad is that it's making her daughter sad because her daughter has taken care of her mother pretty much her whole life. Her mother has a few mental issues as well. So she's grown up too quickly with 2 members of her family that are both very stuck in a religious cycle and also have a few mental health problems. So she's sort of grown up supporting them, but also being angry at them. And I don't want to make her life any more difficult. And I know that I've got to care about myself, but I also love that girl to death, and I want her to be happy, And she wants me to be able to be around her mother.
Maybe modeling for her what boundaries look like would be a good way
Mm,
to help make her happy and more well-rounded. Maybe
yeah,
say, explaining to her, "Hey, like your mother spoke to me this way. That impacts
yeah,
me in this way. These are the boundaries that I am setting with her." Like if she is around me, we don't discuss my culture. We don't
mm-hmm,
discuss religion. We don't have those
mm-hmm,
conversations at all. We have like a list of topics that we are
mm-hmm,
able to have conversations about, and we stick to that list. And if she deviates from that list, then
yeah,
I will see that as her pushing past the boundary that I have set, and
yeah,
I will potentially distance myself from her because she needs to respect my boundaries.
mm-hmm. I mean,
Uh,
she understands it. She knows what happened, and she doesn't blame me. But I know she wants everybody to get on. But I mean, I suppose growing up having to make sure everybody got on, she still sort of believes that. But what it was for me was this complete crash because up until 16, I never knew that they thought any of this of me. And then it just
mm,
all came out in this, you're a bad influence. My teenager's starting to act up, and that's your fault because we model Christian values and you don't, and you allow her to do things that, you shouldn't allow her to do. And, it really crashed me because I thought this was a part of my family, and all of a sudden what they thought of me just came out. And it's sad to me because I mean I've got a neighbour also that's this Christian, and I laugh at it, but he calls me the S word, but with a smile on his face, saying it's only because I had sex out of marriage. You know, it's a nice smile on his face when he does it. And I just sort of feel like if you're Christian, model that bloody behavior, you know?
Yeah. Sounds like
Be
you
nice.
allow people to get away with a lot when it comes to you.
Oh, no,
So,
no, no, I told him off. I told, like, the next door neighbor off. It's
okay,
only
good.
this situation. I mean, it's the only she's like my child because I don't have any children. Um,
Mhm.
Everybody else, they'll get a telling off from me, believe me. Everybody knows how I feel about religion. Everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I would definitely work with boundary setting. We are gonna have to let you go in a minute. I just wanna make sure that if Paul has
Yeah, no,
anything to
that's
say
fine.
that
That's fine,
he
but
he
you've
has an
been very
opportunity.
helpful. I think that you've just, sort of underpin the things that I knew sort of I had to do. But when she rang me up, I was like, oh, do I go? Do I go and sit and have coffee with her? Do I talk to her? That's all I was thinking.
If you
So
do
thank
go in
you.
with a plan, go in with a plan about
Yeah,
what you're gonna say in regards to boundary setting
cool.
with her. Paul, did you have anything to say or add?
Well, the only thing would add would general thank you for being a good influence and for being a mentor and taking
Mm,
someone under your wing,
Thank
and
you.
keep in mind that you may well be the only non-believing person that they well, you're the only non-believing person that they get to have
Yes.
regular interaction with, and
Yeah.
so just thank you for that, but also keep in mind that yeah, at this point in a couple of years they'll be 18 and they will be able to
Mhm.
have more opportunities to have choose their own family as it were, and
Yeah.
so just if you can stick to the high ground on all this stuff. I know it's got to be
Yeah.
frustrating to be
Yeah.
to be slurred on so many fronts, and I'm sorry about that.
Mhm.
But yeah, but to keep model, as Shannon said, just keep modeling, being a good
Cool.
model for them. I think that's the best you can do.
Yeah. All I wanted to say though, Paul, and don't take this in a weird way, the intensity with which you stare into the souls of theists on that show just is beautiful. That's intense stare. I love it.
All right, well, I'm glad someone
Thank you
does.
so much.
It's been called other things. I appreciate.
Oh no, I know.
Thanks,
I
Megan.
love it. It's obvious that you really pay attention to what people are saying, and I really appreciate that. And I love you guys both. I think that you are bloody awesome, and you're
Thanks.
welcome in New Zealand anytime.
Oh,
Well,
take
as
you
long
up
as
on
Ray
that.
Comfort's not there, I'm willing to come.
We'll
Yeah,
come,
just come in
exactly.
the summer, eh? Come in the summer, but apart from that, you'll love it. Go tramping. Okay.
Sounds good,
Thanks
Absolutely.
so
Megan.
much.
Thanks. Have a good
Thank
rest of the
you.
day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Aw, she seems lovely. I hope that works out.
It
Sounds
does.
like she's a good influence in that person's life.